Hey guys, my name is IcyyCold and I'm a deity player who's been playing since SMITE 1 beta back in 2013. Here are the 5 things I wish I knew when starting out. Number 1. Taking your time. There's more than 130 gods that will be added to SMITE 2 in the future with an endless amount of interactions, builds, and ways to play the game. I remember trying to rush learning every god and every strategy that I could find online to get a quick understanding of the game. Doing that hurt me in the long run. When learning a new god, try them out in practice or in arena to know what they do. Afterwards, find a video/guide of a top level player, see how they play them so you can copy how they combo and how they micromanage their abilities. Before a god is ported from SMITE 1, go to SMITE 1 and play them/look up guides so you can have an idea what their abilities are and how people play them so you can get ready for them when they drop in SMITE 2. Another underrated tip most people don't do is this: just asking questions. Go to Twitch, find a deity ranked streamer of a role you main, and ask them any question you have and they'll be happy to answer you. It's better to ask questions than to go in a match not knowing anything and getting flamed by your team for not knowing what to do. This may sound weird, but your first 1000 hours in any MOBA, not just SMITE, is considered your beginner stage. You'll still be considered a quote-unquote new player even if you have 900 hours put in. That is simply how much there is to learn in SMITE and MOBAs in general. There is no shortcut to mastering this game, so relax, find a handful of gods you like, look up guides, ask questions, and just play the game at your own pace. Number 2. Worrying too much about building. Following up with step number 1, this is the biggest problem that is still plaguing new players to this day. With constantly changing metas, new gods, and new items being added, there's always the big questions of, what are the best ways to build? And how do I learn to build? I'll tell you this right now to save you a ton of trouble. Do not bother trying to learn. Trust me when I say that learning how to build will require you to be Grandmaster/deity level at the game. Even demigods and masters players don't know how to build correctly in every game. Even when I off-roll on solo or support on gods I don't play much, I'm not 100% certain what the best build for the match should be, and I'm top number 26 in the world. Even some pros I see in ranked when they off-roll jungle aren't using their best builds for that match. Here's an example of Cyclone Spin, who's a world champion ADC player, going a seemingly good crit build for Apollo jungle. This build looks fine until you realize he is going Executioner in a crit build. The reason you don't want to build Executioner in a crit build is because you have to hit somebody 4 times to apply 24% penetration to them. Whereas going Titan's Bane is just way better because Titan's Bane is a constant 35% penetration. Not only do you get more penetration with Titan's Bane, but the pen is instant and applies to your abilities too. You will be hitting harder with Titan's Bane than Executioner. Go into practice and test the damage numbers for yourself between both items. Building Titan's Bane in a crit build is even better if the enemy team builds a spectral armor, which reduces crit damage. The 15% attack speed you lose with Executioner doesn't mean anything, especially when Apollo has his passive, which gives him 100% attack speed, as well as all the attack speed items he built. Reducing enemy protections may sound nice, but once it's late game, that won't matter when you're hitting the tanks for way more damage with Titan's Bane. Even if some of the best players aren't always building correctly all the time, what should you do? Well, it's quite simple. You search up the top builds of each god on smite2.live and smitebrain.com to see what the top ranked players are building. You can even use the checker.gg website to find someone on the leaderboards and see what items they are generally building and just copy them. But Icy, didn't you just say even some pros build weird? Yes. But that's only in some games when they're off-roll or something. The top-ranked players almost always have the correct builds for each god in the current metas, with some items being swapped for other options. Find those builds, look at the generic items they're building, copy them, rinse and repeat for each god. That is the biggest tip for builds anybody can ever give you. Instead of focusing so much on knowing how to build, put your time into learning the game itself. I'll repeat it again, you will not know how to truly build until you reach the deity level. Number 3. Macro, aka using your map. For me, learning macro was the biggest, and I mean the biggest skill jump I've ever had in this game. This is the one thing that truly separates the good SMITE players from the best. And it's actually very easy to start learning too. So, what is macro? Macro is basically staring at your map at all times to gather information and to plan out your next move. When I play every single SMITE match, at least 80% of the time that I'm playing, I'm just staring at my map. There is so much information to take away that I miss if I weren't staring at the map. Just looking at where the enemy gods are, when buffs are spawning, where the mini waves are at, where both teams are, and when to do objectives like Fire Giant or the Gold Fury, that is all what macro is. The majority of players are not looking at the maps enough. Most players up until Obsidian rank aren't even applying macro to their own games. Most people are too busy running it down, just mashing the keyboards to mock the enemy team and to win fights. While that is fun to do, that is not how to properly play SMITE. Here is an example of macro. I'll be using one of my videos as an example for macro. So if you take a look at the map here, we see that the soul's in the mid lane. I'm Thor jungle, so I'm gonna look to Thor ult here. This might be a bit blurry because this was taken from a stream. So we do kill the soul here. And it's kind of hard to see, but if you look at the dual lane, the support and the carries in the dual lane right now. And if you keep looking at the map right now, this nemesis is in the left side. And the jungler who's Tsukuyomi is also ganking this guy. So since we know that there's 2 people here, and there's 2 people in the solo lane, we look to pull the Pyromancer. I know if the support was here in the mid lane with the possibility of the jungle showing up, then me as Thor, my Baron support, and my Scylla mid, we do not have enough damage to ever kill the Pyromancer, but since we're looking at the map, we know that this Pyromancer is just uncontested. We get the Pyromancer for free. They look to fight us here, but our Wukong just died. We're not very strong. I just back up here, then I look for my speed buff. But right now, since I'm constantly staring at my map, if you take a look right here, this guy didn't show up on in my vision. I had no clue he was here, but I was just staring at my map the whole time. See, he shows up right here, but you can't see him on the left side at all. But since I saw him on the map, I knew he was gonna look for an axe, so just backpedal, and he can never kill me now. That example was very difficult to make considering my speech impediment, so I hope you guys understood what I was trying to say there. As I was saying, macro is what all the highest ranked players are doing, and that is what separates them from 90% of the player base. If you want more information about macro, be sure to check out Leon's video where he goes more in depth about it. Number 4, being too nice. We've heard it plenty of times. SMITE is a team-based game. You need to be a good teammate and work together to win the match. While that may sound good in theory, the harsh reality is that most of the time, you have to play like you do not have a team at all. Even though SMITE is a team game, unless you are in a party or playing in a competitive team, you should always play your own game. Every single person watching this has at one point been spamming that, had teammates begging for help, and have been insulted for doing anything they don't like you doing. For the vast majority of my playtime on SMITE, I would listen to my crybaby teammates and go out of my way to help them out to make them happy, even if it meant giving up my own farm so they wouldn't quit. Even pro players I get in my games would demand help, and since I was new to ranked at the time, I would always follow them because surely this professional knows what to do, right? Nope, not always. Usually, these players are demanding help to make their game easier, not because it would be the right play to make. If you want to grow as a player, you must play your own game and be selfish. A fight looks bad for you specifically, don't engage. A teammate is losing hard and begs for help by spam picking you, just mute them. You're playing jungle and you put off a successful gank, split the wave and think of it like tax. Here's a clip of Panatom, who's a world champion jungler who's coached me before, giving me this advice. For context, my Surtur solo was Venenu, a world champion MVP mid laner, and he called for a blue buff invade. A level 3 Morrigan jungle and Surtur versus a Bellona and Hunbats is a terrible fight for us. I listened to the call because I assumed the pro player knew what he was doing. We ended up dying and we got invaded afterward. I ended up sacrificing my own game to help a teammate in a call I didn't want to go for. Even if it's a pro player making the call, if you do not think it will go well for you, then don't listen.
I feel like not your only, but your biggest mistake was the early. Like here, this play was awful. Like so, like you lost. Yeah, but like anyway, like it's like this is what I told you before. Like at the beginning, in the first coachings, I told you that you have to focus on farm. Like there is gonna be some situations where people ping you or get mad at you because you're just farming, right? Like it doesn't matter, bro. Like those people probably doesn't know how to play jungle. Like you have to play your game. Like you have to lose all respect on all those people, even me. Like I just play your game. Like you're gonna get better eventually, and like him pinging your blue is like who gives a fuck? Like he's against a Bellona. Like if he gets invaded, it's because he's losing pressure, and that's not your fault. Like you don't have more pressure than him. But if you were something like Erlang or something with a lot of pressure, I will say like yeah, he's right. Like, but like you're playing Mori. Like you have to play your game. So, and even let's say if you invade blue, like what's gonna happen if you invade blue? If I was Humbats and you invade my blue, I will probably go to your red and your speed. That's not even good for you. Like it's only good for this fucking guy, which is losing pressure. Like,
while macro helped me improve the most skill-wise, this tip is what helped me improve the most at winning games and growing as a player. After I started playing more selfishly, I immediately climbed from Masters rank to Grandmaster's rank in SMITE 1 in just one day. My gaming experience drastically improved as well, and every time I get somebody who behaves like that in any game, I just ignore them and do my own thing. In summary, going out of your way to help these crybabies is the worst mistake you can possibly do in both Smite and in real life. Never conform to people like this unless they are your boss. Help yourself first before you can help others. Number 5. Farming. This is a follow-up to what I said earlier about macro. Farm, farm, farm. Even though PvP in this game is super fun and you might be really good at it, it won't matter if you do not have the gold and XP to back it up. Even if you're the Stephen Curry of your team with a lot of kills, if the LeBron James of the enemy team farmed better than you and has the lead, you are probably going to lose. Looking for kills is not always worth it, especially if it is risky in this farm up. As a jungler, I always tell people to prioritize your camps before looking to gank. If you ignore your camps to gank a lane but the gank fails, then not only did you get nothing on the gank, but you also wasted time that could have been spent farming the camps instead. Let's give an example. Your speed buff spawns every 2 minutes, but you are 1 minute late to the buff every single time it spawns. If you repeat that 6 times in a game, then that is 6 minutes gone, which equates to 3 total speed buffs not farmed. If you are not on your camps on time, but the enemy jungler is, then you will fall far behind them. Using their lead, a good enough jungler can truly punish you for not farming efficiently. I'll give another example. Let's say you and 2 teammates are all around level 12. You find the enemy support who is level 9. You guys chase him and spend a lot of resources to kill the level 9 Khepri, but one of the enemies shows up and almost killed you. You then back up feeling good, only to realize you split a level 9 support kill with 3 people, and you got 16 gold and 40 XP. You risked so much for a kill that was worth less than a minion, and you almost died for it. Meanwhile, your camps have been up the entire time. To summarize this section, prioritize farm before fighting, and you'll be having much more consistent games. Guaranteed farm is always better than risky kills that aren't always going to be worth it. These are the top 5 things I wish I knew when I started out Smite. I hope you guys learned something today, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitch as well. I'll be aiming to stream every day both on Twitch and YouTube. I even do play-by-play commentaries on stream that won't be made into videos. Come hang out sometimes and stay tuned for more videos like this. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time.